Our final speaker is Janečko from T-Mobile, and he will be talking about integrating security culture in DevOps. So I'm very interested in his talk. I'm really curious why security culture is important, but because you are not using Keyvedno or Open Policy Agent, I already know that. So, so our stage is yours, and I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you, Marek. Thank you, Marek, for the introduction. Hello, folks. And yeah, please don't use this presentation like guidance how to properly do security culture, because security culture is not something you could copy and paste to another company. It needs to be customized, and you need to focus on your use cases you have in the company, of course. But it is a very important topic, and a lot of times is, let's say, underestimated. And despite the fact that in upcoming 2 years, developers, even in this room, maybe lost their job because of security culture. But let me explain it. Let's go deep dive during these last 30 seconds. 30 minutes. It will be definitely longer. Okay. So, okay, it works. But first, what is actually the security culture? Security or culture is about the shared values, about the happiness of the people, how they feel in the company. HR usually focus on this stuff, but the security point of view on the culture is a bit different. It's about that every employee on his job position is aware about security challenges which could come, and he knows what to do with these challenges, let's say, and he proactively do something with these challenges. Let me explain. For example, if somebody from the finance get the phishing mails, and he's not sure if it is phishing mails, let's say, he will proactively send it to the security department to evaluate this phishing mail, let's say. He not proactively click on the link and fill up the form and, you know, pay the invoice which is in the mail, but he do proactively something secure, let's say. Administrator, for example, or operation proactively patch their system because new patch is coming and nobody should say them, please patch. Yes, you could. Yes, this is not about that. It's about the people and the mindset. It's not about the tools, okay? This is very important. And it's key element to improving application security and maturity, because you will see if you have a weak security culture in your company, you could have any tool you imagine best on the market, it will not help you to prevent some incident or something which you will tackle. Actually, if you don't know how to tackle the culture things, there are a lot of frameworks. I like the OWASP, so I pick up just the security culture framework from the OWASP, but NIST as an authority has also such a framework, etc. So why security culture matter? As I said, no tool can help if culture is wrong. You could have best tool, but for example, if developer, I will try to focus on the DevOps, of course. I don't want to say in general how we tackle a security awareness program, etc. But if, for example, the scanning tool in the pipeline finds some finding, developer has still a right to triage the finding and point it as a false positive. You will see later that if you have build up proper monitoring and visibility, you will see later that something is not okay because the same finding is still pop up, but developer has the ability to not or to do nothing about the finding. And this is about the security culture, that he will not overcome the finding, he will proactively solve it, let's say. Then, yes, audits. From last year, actually, many security standards and regulatory compliance standards involved software development lifecycle requirements from the security perspective. Actually, if you don't know about that, for example, ISO 27000 from the last year include software development lifecycle to the requirements of the audit. They directly ask how you protect your code, for example, how you do code reviews, like really exactly, and you need to give them some evidence that you do that, actually. Security is everyone's responsibility. Security in Agile at Scale. Agile at Scale is new methodology how the big companies try to work in the Agile way. Also, non-development departments try to go in the Agile way. Security in Agile at Scale is deliverable only when you distribute security responsibilities to the company. Otherwise, security become the bottleneck of the whole company, and you know, when you put so many requests to one point, it is a DDoS, actually. So also there needs to be change from, you know, they are the security. It is their responsibility, like the patching stuff. You cannot say, for example, operation cannot say that I know about the patch, but I don't want to do that because it is responsibility of security. This cannot happen in the Agile environment, actually. This must to change to I am the security. Have some accountability for my work, for my job position, job profile, call it how you want, but you need to do something with that. And the risk of weak security culture, what are the main risks? Things like that. Yeah? Do you think this is the good idea? Yeah, we could discuss, but you need to realize that in the big companies, there is so many development teams, let's say, and in our companies, for the 50 development teams, there is one security guy, yeah? And we cannot be everywhere. And even if we have like proper security testing in the pipelines, there are things which could come, which could be written from the code perspective, could be written perfect, but are vulnerable from the definition of the requirement. For example, we have concrete example that one day, one developer knocking on our doors, and you know, he was pretty shy, and he asked, could you see something if it is like valid from the security perspective? Because next week, this feature will be in the production. And yeah, of course, do you know what this was? They build up the service which consume on the input the invoice number, and the output was the data, whole data about the customer, like everything. Really everything. And guess what? There was no authentication, there was no authorization of the request, nothing. Just this ID of the invoice. And guess what? In our system, invoice number was at that time, it was many years actually before, they have just incremental numbers. So you could plus one, and you could list up the whole database of our employees. And the developer done it, like from the perspective of readiness, it was done. It was in the pre-production environment. And he just asked that, yeah, I done it, but I have bad feelings in my stomach. Could you give me a thumbs up? And we said, what? How should we know about that? He could do from the code perspective, he could everything good. But if you have a wrong security culture, you never know about this shit, and it will be in the production next week. Yeah, so keep that in mind. Security in SSDLC, software development lifecycle model. When you tackle the DevOps, you maybe, and you are in the bigger companies, let's say you usually have some SDLC model, and you know how to thread through the software lifecycle to every stage, let's say. What is relevant from the culture perspective is the shift left principle. Yeah, I would like to explain it on the testing phase. Usually, or old school way of doing the testing is through penetration tests, which were done at the end of the life cycle model, like before the production release, before the final release. Usually, the penetration tester have 2 weeks to done tests, and developer has 1 week to implement the findings. Guess what? Then comes the business. They cannot do that. Then comes the business, accept the residual risks, and nobody cares, actually. We hope in the half a year that this will be fixed somehow. Yeah, so the penetration testing looks like this, actually. You got it. Yeah, everything was burned, and this is in the production. So therefore, you need to apply shift left principle. So do security test, let's say, early as possible in the software development lifecycle. Therefore, you must create SSDLC model. SSDLC model will show you how the security is integrated to every stage of the lifecycle model. And I don't want to share the whole model we have, actually, because this is for another presentation. But I will share what we include to the model. We include directly the culture. Development team is on the first place, actually. We would like to build up security champions, share the knowledge base for the developers, maintain their interest about the security stuff, and prepare for them custom security trainings. Yeah, this is directly in our SSDLC model. So what we actually achieve when the management commit to do or commit to the SSDLC model, they directly commit to security culture. Actually, this is one way how you can like precisely push the security into the interest of the company. Who are the security champions? I mentioned it on the first place, and they are vital pillar of the security champion security culture in development teams. Security champions. These are the security champions. Yes, fellowship of mighty warriors of light, ready to stand against the Dark Lord. These are the security champions, really. These champions, these heroes are developers with passion for the security, who build up the bridge between the development team and the security department. Yeah, thanks to these guys, we could like proactively apply some security policies or enhance the security policies which are, let's say, more polite to developers. Let's say we don't strictly say that, yeah, we cannot do this because of something, but this needs to have some reason for you, for developers, that we as a security, we don't want to kill your creativity. And this usually happen in the old way of working. But the security champions for this work, for this focus, they need to have time allocation. And this is big. What? Yes. We have 50 development teams, and when you will come to the management and say, we need 50 people, and we take them 20% of their time, what they do? Yes. Therefore, you need to build up the security champion program, like the real program. This is the real stuff. Therefore, you need to have some governance in the program. And this governance support few things. Concept, idea, framework. You could find inspiration in the OWASP, for example. Then you could take it to the company and customize it for your needs, for your use cases, etc. So you build up the concept. You need this concept before you will go to the management, because, of course, they will challenge you. They will challenge you a lot. You would like to have money, you would like to have time allocation. These are the real stuff which management is actually understand and challenge them. So governance is responsible for management buy-in. Therefore, program needs to have some deliveries. If you don't have buy-in of the management, it looks like this. So how to gain the approval from the management, it will be on the next slide. I will talk about these deliveries later. And of course, the budget. You ask the management for the budget because you would like to have nice environment for you as developers and create a lot of activities. You would like to be creative and to catch their interest. And of course, we are big company, so we have around 70,000 internal employees. So we need to build up the brand for this champion. Let they have some kind of visibility. This is really necessary to the program and the presentation of these champions. Program delivery, or how we get the management buy-in. We commit with the program to few deliveries. Actually, these deliveries is very important. These deliveries directly, actually, I just show you example what it could be. These are not directly the deliveries we have, but it could be like that. The very important thing, these deliveries needs to be defined by the champions. So after you will collect all the champions, they will sit together and discuss these deliveries, because these deliveries directly should help your development teams. It should tackle some issue in your teams which bring the value to the company. So we commit to security deliveries and also to the business deliveries. Of course, management is listen to the business things like time to market, they focus on the cost reduction, etc. And this could be delivered with the program as well. There is no problem with that, actually. Let me explain. What we did, why is emphasized, for example, patching, authentication and authorization, architecture, time to market. These things are the KPIs of our management. These things are directly the KPIs of the management. So we put intentionally these KPIs to our delivery of the program. Actually, the management needs, we just prepare some solutions for the management, how they could tackle their KPIs. They cannot refuse it, actually. It's fine for them as well. And it doesn't matter what kind of KPIs your management have. If they have budget KPIs, okay, there is cost reduction. We will focus on this cost reduction. When is this time to market, you will prepare the guidance how we would like to reduce time to market. Because from the security perspective, for example, in our development lifecycle, we have a lot of obstacles. Let's say we would like to give developers higher privileges, let's say, or not the privileges directly, but higher responsibilities. They could be creative. We just say these are the boundaries, and we will focus on the visibility, on the monitoring, what you will do, but you could do. If it is regarding these boundaries, we are okay with that. And they could directly, for example, they could directly release the application to the wild, I mean to the internet, if they fulfill, for example, WAF policies. Yeah, it is just a short example, and of course it has a lot of if, but it is doable, actually. we could teach the developer how to do that in a secure manner. So yeah, this is the way. Maintain champion interest is very important. These folks needs to be ready for war. Yeah, this needs to be ready for a fight. They needs to have sharpened the swords, and the bow needs to be ready as well, of course. And only way how to achieve it is maintain the champion's interest, maintain the interest of the developers. So the program needs to have some kind of interested activities. We, for example, focus this year on the trainings, the custom trainings, which will be built up based on developer requests, like what you need to have. For example, we get interesting requests about the AIs. Okay, so we find the budget, and we provide we call some also the external partners. For the activities, we try to consume something on the what is on the market. Yeah, and for example, capture the flag event. The developers usually like gamification event, what was already mentioned, and I don't want to do any advertisement, but I really recommend to find some reliable partner who could, for example, prepare the capture the flag event if you don't have enough time in your own team. And of course, company visibility. As I mentioned, this is the brand, this is the propagation of the champions, their work, etc. So what we told also, or what give to the management, they directly ask about, okay, and how you would like to measure it. We were prepared. We have the metrics. We have metrics for the champion measurement. This is directly like copy-paste from the OWASP, actually, and it is pretty good inspiration. And we have also the metrics for the effectiveness of the program itself. So, yeah, maybe it is a bit difficult at the beginning to measure it properly because you don't know what to expect. And we also cut some let's say, the points from this. But you need to be prepared, and you need to know how to collect, for example, data for the metrics as well. And this is our timeline. Actually, what I present you doesn't happen in 1 month or even 1 year. It starts in 2022 when we defined the SSDLC model without any support of management, despite it was like approved by management. But we start with, for example, tooling, open source tooling, etc., and prepare the stuff for the developers, find the partners from the company, etc. Then we design at the same year. We designed the security champion program. We know we would like to have this champion program, so we designed it. Again, no support it at the time. It is almost 1 year from the SSDLC model presentation, let's say. Then we find interest. In 3 months, we were very consistent. What we are talking, all ideas were prepared in the January. During the SSDLC model preparation, and in the January we have first FTE. We see some opportunities and we use it for hiring the first champion. This position has the job profile that he is security expert, but he doesn't sit in the security department. This is the first time we have it in the company. Small hint, start measure. If you will have something similar, start, prepare the metrics and start measure at that time to correlate to other teams, if it is worth it or not. This was very helpful when we come to management again, actually. So we start also non-official program, security champion program, that we see that employees have interest in the security champion role. Therefore, we start to more communicate with them, etc. So we cooperate more with these guys, and it brings us a lot of fruits, actually. And at the April 2023, we start a security community. Now, at that time, the community has like 80 members. It is like the Teams channel when we public a lot of, for example, articles, what is interesting to us, discuss these things, and if we are open to any suggestions, ideas. And what was like crucial, from this time we start delivering the training. We start to have a budget, yeah, small one, like really small. Despite of the small budget, we have pretty good delivery. And we have the communication channel. Nowadays, the communities has around 420 members, so it's pretty good, and I consider it as a successful movement to security culture in general. And this is our logo, actually. Yeah, we build up also the brand around the community. And yeah, in 2024. Almost 1.5 years, we gain decision to start DevSecOps champion program. We call it DevSecOps, but this means the real security champions with the full support of management and full support of HR. Because of time allocation, we need to directly involve the HR partners as well. And at March of this year, we have all champions nominated, and we start to produce the delivery. So, as you see, we are not ready, like we are not done. And I think from the cultural perspective, we will never be. But we start somehow, we are on the good track, and the program is ready to deliver something. And the security champions are working on that. This is independent. We have just the governance on the program, but the delivery comes from the champions itself. And how to sustain the security culture? Listen, learn, and adapt. Yes, you need to feedback. You need to feedback from your customers, from your employees, and from the champions as well. Just listen and adapt the program according to their needs. Yes, so this is very important and crucial. We prepare, let's say, the concept, but everything from the point when we join the champions is defined by them. So just keep takeaways at the end. Security culture is essential for secure software. Yes, developers play central role. It's about the developers. Security champions are main pillars of security program and work with the feedback. If we will take this from my presentation, I will be really satisfied. So thank you very much, and prepare to change your mindset. Yeah, because this is cultural changes are very difficult for another's mindset. It's always difficult. So thank you very much. I am the Peter Janečko from Slovak Telecom and T-Mobile Czech Republic, and enjoy the conference.
You happy? Are you waiting for the 3D printer? So we still have some questions. So we will let you wait. You know, you need to get the tension. The tension needs to grow. So if you have any questions on Peter, so you can ask him. So feel free. I will hire you as a professional questionnaire. I don't know.
Thank you. You can't afford me, but yeah. All right, I have like 6 questions, but
okay.
I do have, but let me see what is the most important one. Oh, okay, you said you work on the program for like 1.5 to 2 years. Yeah. How much time and money you invested so far, and how do you see this investment return in a short period? Because you said
at the beginning,
time to market, you know, reducing the cost, but this is not happening right now, right?
Exactly. These are the deliveries which will be visible in the Q1 2026. So now we just convince the management, give us the money without any return of the investment. So that's it. Yes, the security is a black hole of the budget. Yeah, usually. It's a lot of time, it's not so visible because no incident happened, but if happened, you need to then take it as a, let's say, water to your meal, you know. So, yeah, and what are the our investment? It is interesting. When community start, we start the community with budget of 3,000 euros. So its budget was pretty low, but hell of good events. We usually spend it on the catering, actually. So, you know, and we prepared everything by ourselves. So usually my colleagues and I just did that in their free time. But yes, it was pretty exhausting. But yeah, 3,000 are not so much. Now it's better, right, Marek?
Yeah, I know. So we are working together on some like interesting programs for DevSecOps. That's true. I'm happy that he is honest. You know that on this conference. I don't know if he hears somebody from T-Mobile. Is here somebody from T-Mobile? Okay, so it's good that you can be honest on the black hole on the money because nobody will whistleblow you. So anyone else? Any questions? Or Bogo is the only one who is asking all the time. And full disclosure, we do not pay him for that. Yeah, so. Again,
Thank
disclosure, we are not paying for that.
Yeah. So one of the KPIs that you had, I don't remember what is exactly, but it was something like the number of threat models created. Why do you think it's? I think it's a bullshit metric, but why do you think it's good?
No, it is just copy-paste from the OWASP standard, so we don't have this metric, actually. Yeah, I think it is bullshit as well.
Okay, thank you.
So I just said it, this is just the inspiration. Not everything what was shown is really implemented in our environment. And this is mainly because I don't want to disclose everything. Like, you know, we need to have something for us. But yeah. Metrics was just to copy-paste from the OWASP. But it's very good inspiration, actually, and you could work with the threat modeling a lot. For example, at the end of this year, we plan to prepare the threat modeling concept for the developers, and from the next year, for that we need to have a budget, we need to plan the budget, we are the big company, you know. So from the next year, we would like to roll it up to every development team to have threat modeling, and then we have prepared already the metric for the threat modeling. Like.
So, one question. Is it working? Okay. Is security risk control and security architecture is part of the same team, or?
From the company perspective?
Yeah, from the company perspective.
No. Security architecture is solely standalone department, let's say.
Do they speak with each other?
Yes, they communicate, of course, they need to, but there are, let's say, you know, it's too big company, maybe.
Actually, I like your honesty again. They are so big that they have department for everything.
Yeah.
So my question is basically, there are so many security departments like risk and control, compliance, architecture, but I think they're not in sync, or some teams has technical knowledge, some team doesn't, and there are a lot of loopholes getting created. Do you see this pattern?
Yeah, yes, we communicate actually together. We have the meetings. I am from the technology security department. My colleagues are from the corporate security department, and we communicate every week actually on a weekly basis, let's say. And we have when we need some help, we communicate like we now. Actually, it's
okay, good for
the whole company is about the communication. It's actually, therefore you need to have proper culture there. So yeah, I love my company, and we have open culture actually. So also with the CTIO, we directly have the open communication. So we don't try to hide behind something. So.
Are you happy with the answer? From 1 to 10? Okay. So
Okay.
you get 7. So man, you still
we
have,
could
to
discuss
do
it
something.
later if you would like to.
Perfect. So any other questions on Peter? 3, 2, 1.